You buy wild Atlantic salmon, are you actually buying something that's healthy and wild, or is it something far more toxic due to a loophole in labeling laws? What's going on? When you go to a grocery store, you can see wild Atlantic salmon, and you can also see wild caught Pacific salmon. Some time ago, the US government actually stopped the allowance of fishing on the Atlantic side because of the near extinction of salmon and the depletion of stores. You can only get farmed salmon from the Atlantic. The word caught being added truly tells you that it was caught in the wild. So why then is a label allowed to call this Atlantic salmon wild? Because that's the name of the breed. The breed is wild Atlantic salmon. So it's on the label and tricks you into thinking that you're buying wild fish, but it's actually farmed and highly toxic, injected with dyes, injected with hormones, and potentially one of the most toxic foods out there.
So this video actually started off with quite an insightful finding, and the fact that it appears that manufacturers have found a loophole to sell farm-raised salmon, but have people think they're buying wild-caught salmon. With that being said, he then ends this video saying that the issue with this is that farm-raised salmon are injected with dyes, injected with hormones, and are one of the most toxic foods you can eat. And I think that's the portion of the video that we should discuss. So Atlantic salmon is not injected with hormones, nor is it injected with any dye. The way that farm-raised salmon gets its pink hue is the same way that wild-caught salmon gets its pink hue. This is through the consumption of an antioxidant named astaxanthin. Wild-caught fish gets its astaxanthin from eating different sea vegetables and small organisms. Conversely, farm-raised salmon has astaxanthin added into their food. And I understand you may perceive this as being less natural, but at the end of the day, the astaxanthin found in their flesh is the exact same. So lucky for you, the first two claims that do sound extremely scary about farm-raised fish being injected with dyes and hormones is not correct. He then goes on to claim that farm-raised fish are full of toxins and are one of the most toxic foods on the planet. But if you actually look at what the literature says, the concentrations of toxins such as dioxins, dioxin-like PCBs, and heavy metals are 3 times higher in wild-caught salmon, which is the type of salmon being advocated for in this video. And this is in no way telling you not to eat salmon, because they even mention that all of these are below the European Union's maximum levels for contaminants in food. With that being said, there is one other very substantial difference between wild-caught and farm-raised salmon, and that is the price. Wild-caught salmon is substantially more expensive than farm-raised salmon. And videos like these claiming that farm-raised salmon is one of the most toxic foods you can eat, and that humans should only be consuming wild-caught salmon puts an extreme barrier to entry for people to start including salmon into their diet, which in almost all cases has many health-promoting effects, whether or not it's wild-caught or farm-raised. So if you want to learn how to take control of your health and energy and avoid a lot of the misinformation online, send me a DM to sign up for coaching.